Welcome back to Simple Syrup. So this is Jawan, the gay guru. I said guru. It's guru though. Anywho, so I was describing in the last video the emotional provider or emotional nurturer, excuse me. So of course, tertiary level. Love that word. Number three. There's always that yin and yang involved in everything. So never lose that fine line between whatever they want to call love and war and all this. I don't believe in war, but I do say there's a war within ourselves sometimes that we have to remember how to love. So if you're able to be both of these, I made a little synopsis to kind of describe this for the emotional nester. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right into the reading. So I said an emotional nester is able and capable of being the provider and the nurturer. I personally came to realize, having developed into a multifunctional person, that outside variables and unexpected development throughout one's life can turn one into a little known hybrid I coin, a multi emotional being. I love that. Multi emotional being. We're not just one. I hate when people, I'm mad. Okay, well, you mad for the whole day? Like, that was a moment. Let that moment be. You have to be multi-emotional. Variables happen all the time. You can get a promotion. Your dog could have just died. Your baby just got an A. I don't know, whatever. But at the same time, you have to experience all these things and not let one dominate the other. Um, so from here, I said, for years, I used my own labeling system against myself, forcing my spirit and soul to fit into one of the other root categories. I realized eventually from the exposure that I've encountered from past relationships, firsthand experiences, that I could acquire and maintain the ability to be both an emotional provider and a nurturer. In recognizing that, I came up with the root category of emotional nesters. Emotional nesters can carry multiple emotions at once while conveying the necessary emotional response to continue on with daily function and purpose. These root energies are like a pregnant mother bird. The bird lives through and puts up with multiple conditions and salvages through the grounds for twigs and other materials to build the nest for her expected offspring. This is an emotional provider at work. Remember how I had the levels? This is what a promotional provider does. It goes out and it gets the stuff done. This is what we need for the basic stuff. Now, after the bird defends herself against the inclement weather and predatory animals trying to eat her, she manages to build a home for herself and her kids. Once she lays her eggs, she protects the nest while resting on them to keep them warm and comfortable until her offspring enter the world. Once her offspring are big enough and have been taught how to survive is when they are able to take care of themselves. The nourishment and guidance she gives to her kids is an emotional nurturer at work. This is the small stuff, the burping, the pooping, the cleaning up, all those little details. This is the type of personality you have to have this within you. You have to know that you can love this way in order to be this way. So you can't be like, but there's a lot of people who really don't mind, as myself. I was a nursing assistant, so I've seen a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't want to do. But hey, guess what? We all get old one day, people. Someone has to take care of your butt. You can't wipe it yourself forever. And if you can, thank God, okay? Because that is a blessing. um, so after that, I went back on to say, um, where did I leave off at? As one envisions this analogy, one can begin to understand that being an emotional nester is the highest developed emotional state one would want to achieve. Why? I'll tell you. Because through multiple emotional understandings of our root consciousness, we better understand how we should interact daily with the world. So you in your own self have to know that I have a mind, I have a mind's eye, I have a soul, I have a soul connection. All of those things are a consciousness of your awareness of what you need to bring forth to a relationship. If you know that subconsciously you're not always there, then you have to make yourself aware that, hey, this is my relationship. I want it to work, or this is my life. I need it to work. Well, you need to make sure that you're telling your subconscious, which gives yourself its inner voice, that extra kick to your ego. Because the ego is just meant to protect. Don't let the ego rule you. Your very first conscious thought is your ego saying, but that thing where you say, my gut feeling, okay, well, your gut feeling is your soul. Your soul has its mind's eye too, which is who gives that voice its voice? Remember, most conditioning came from parents and teachers, and when we were young, we were told to believe things. By the time you're older and you realize and experience the world, that things are quite different. So it's always good to remember that I need to be on board with where I consciously am in any point in my life. So then when a relationship does happen, I'm prepared. But again, this is just another way to love. It's not defining anyone, but if you do feel you're this person, then great. I can definitely guide you to the next step. So on that note, we're going to go to our last section. I know it's almost over, but the best part is we'll get to do the dating grid. All right. Thanks, guys.